And this is Lubbock, Texas. Imagine waking up at dawn, stepping outside and being hit with the nightmare that your crops have been destroyed, fences obliterated. The culprit is wild boars. Millions of them are ripping through America's heartland, causing billions in damage. But here in West Texas, farmers aren't fighting back with guns. No, they've come up with something far smarter, so effective it's turning heads and sparking a political firestorm. Last summer, a farmer near Interstate 87 checked his fields and was met with disaster when 50 acres were destroyed overnight. The culprits were caught on camera, a herd of 30 wild hogs, each weighing 250 pounds, and with tusks large enough to tear up fields. One wrong move and the invasive species could attack. This isn't just a battle in Texas, it's a nationwide crisis, affecting farms from Georgia to California. Wild hogs destroy all manner of property. They tear up land, contaminate water supplies, and carry diseases like pseudo-rabies that threaten livestock and even humans. The damage is estimated to cost more than $2.5 billion 0 cents a year across the United States. But the most notable is the political. In Texas, some lawmakers are pushing for unlimited hunting, arguing that it's the only way. Others say hunting only disperses the hogs, making the problem worse. And are demanding money for smarter solutions. Farmers in Lubbock are no longer patient. They're taking matters into their own hands. So how do you stop a wild hog invasion without using guns? Just outside Lubbock, farmers are using a method so effective it can take out an entire herd in one go. It's called pen trapping, and it's a high-stakes game where precision is everything. One small mistake and the hogs are gone. Here's the strategy from Lubbock. Farmers look for signs of wild hogs, footprints, disturbed soil, or muddy puddles near streams. One farmer discovered a hotspot near the Brazos River, where wild hogs raid his fields at night. The farmer built a 40-foot wide cage trap with 5-foot high steel plates attached to T-posts, strong enough to withstand a charging hog. Inside they spread corn and fruit scraps to lure the hogs to the trap, but the farmers had to wait and be patient for a week, letting the hogs in and out to get used to the trap. The goal wasn't one, but a whole herd. And then the decisive moment. Using a surveillance camera connected to a smartphone app, the farmer waits until the entire herd, and sometimes as many as 40, are deep inside. One tap and the gate snaps open. The wild boars panic, crashing into the steel, but the trap holds. In one night, the farmer has caught 32 wild boars, saving his fields from further destruction. It's a tense victory, but the work isn't over yet. Captured wild hogs are carefully loaded into trailers, and farmers wear protective gear because tusks and disease are real risks. In Texas, USDA Wildlife Services steps in, taking the hogs to processing plants or, if necessary, culling them to stop the spread of disease. In 2024 alone, farmers in Lubbock captured more than 60,000 wild hogs this way, eliminating the need for hunting. The fight isn't over. Wild hogs reproduce rapidly, with sows producing up to 10 hoglets per litter and giving birth to 2 litters a year. Farmers combine traps with electric fences to block the hogs' paths and use motion sensing lights to scare them away. In Lubbock, these efforts reduce crop damage by 35% in just one season, proving that strategy can beat chaos. Meanwhile, politics continue to escalate. Hunters say trapping is knocking down their hobby, while ecologists warn that wild hogs are knocking down native species like deer and quail. In Austin, lawmakers have yet to agree on funding trapping programs or loosening hunting laws. Farmers remain focused, working tirelessly to protect their land. Their success is sending a clear message: Two, wild hogs are animals and they are a disaster. A female can have 4 to 6 young in a litter, and in just a few years, a herd can destroy hundreds of acres of land. In South Carolina, we have lost millions of dollars in crop damage. But we do not sit still. To wild boar hunting, you must understand that they are intelligent and agile. Shooting a few is not enough. You must target the entire herd, from the leader to the young, and destroy the invasive species shelter. When is the best time to wild boar hunting? We met at 4 p.m. in a field near town. I bought a Remington 700 chambered in .308 Winchester, which is a great choice for wild boar because of its accuracy and power. Or you can choose an AR-15 with 6.5 Grendel bullets, which are light and powerful enough to take down the big ones. To be successful, you need a strategy. think many hunters make the same mistake I did when hunting wild hogs. One time we were hunting in two groups, ambushing on opposite sides of a hill. To shorten the hunt, we also used dogs to sniff out the wild hogs' hiding places. Suddenly, a pack of 12 charged. I aimed at the leader, which could weigh up to 300 pounds. My first shot with the Remington 700 missed. Wild hogs are fast, and if you hesitate, the invasive species will be gone. Or if you're unlucky, they'll charge at you, but this time, I hit the invasive species. Shooting at the wrong angle is a common mistake, don't you think? Wild hogs have a thick layer of fat to protect them, so you have to aim in the most humane places. It's also a lesson that if you don't understand the anatomy of this invasive species, you won't be able to wild boar hunting successfully. You'll spend about $1,500, 0 cents, on a license for nothing. But to eradicate them, many South Carolina farmers believe that setting large, armoured iron traps filled with corn will attract large numbers of wild hogs. These traps can catch the whole herd from big to small, ensuring that none are left behind. Mistakes in hunting wild boar are not without solutions. The most basic mistake is that the hunter chooses the wrong weapon. Handguns or weak bullets like the .22 LR are not enough to take down wild boars. We recommend a 0.4 x 1 5/7 inch scope for increased accuracy in low light conditions. Efforts like ours have helped eradicate more than 15,000 wild hogs statewide, according to the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. This has saved an estimated $115 million, 0 cents, in agricultural losses each year, allowing farmers to reclaim thousands of acres of land that had been devastated. More importantly, we have increased the effectiveness of wild hog population control by 20% over the previous year thanks to modern methods. If you enjoyed this story, please share and subscribe for more hunts. Wild boars have become a serious threat to agriculture in Kansas, USA, where hundreds of acres of corn have been destroyed. As the final days of the harvest season approached, when the corn fields were ready to be harvested, the wild boars began their attacks, moving quickly. Viewed from above, the areas that were attacked resembled a battlefield, and the quality of the corn was severely affected, making it unfit for production and processing. It is estimated that more than 200 acres have been destroyed, causing about $300,000 in damage. Adding to the crisis, corn harvesters reported multiple encounters with wild boars, each weighing up to 300 pounds, a clear sign that the wild animal population is growing as they find an abundant food source. In response to the growing threat of wild boars, the US government has taken a number of measures to control them, including the use of guns. They have begun using cars to move quickly through the fields at night. These cars, equipped with bright headlights. Hunters believe that at night is when wild boars are most active. They go out in large numbers of 15 to 20 to search for food. Hunting from a car is an exciting experience for many hunters, but it requires them to undergo specialized training courses distinct from regular hunting activities. To participate in nighttime hunting, hunters must meet specific requirements, including a minimum vision standard of 20/40 to ensure they can see clearly in low light conditions. Additionally, they must complete a series of tests designed to help them track and identify signs of wild boars in the dark forest. During the day, Kansas hunters use bows and arrows to knock down wild boars. However, this method requires them to move quietly and possess camouflage skills to avoid detection by the wild boar's keen senses. Bow hunting requires more technical skills, as hunters must operate within a limited range of about 30 to 40 yards to ensure accurate and effective shots. On average, about 2,000 hunters participate each year in efforts to control the wild boar population in Kansas. However, this method requires them to move quietly and be stealthy. Otherwise, the wild boar's keen senses will detect them.
Sticky McKeon.
Bow hunting requires a higher level of skill because it is only effective up to 30 yards, so camouflage is essential. On average, about 1,200 hunters participate each year in wild boar control efforts in Kansas, out of a state population of about 2.9 million. Hunters in Kansas primarily use compound bows for hunting, a type of bow that provides increased accuracy and power thanks to its pulley system. Compound bows are ranked among the top 3 tools for hunting. This hunting method has proven effective in Kansas, helping farmers reduce an average of 250 hogs in just 1 month. Hunting season is mainly in late summer to early fall, coinciding with their mating season, making it an ideal time to control their population. When hunting wild boars with bows and arrows, hunters often prepare corn bait mixed with a scent to attract wild boars from a distance. This bait is placed in a high position so that it automatically falls down, causing wild boars to concentrate on eating the bait, giving hunters the opportunity to observe and aim more effectively. To take down a wild boar, hunters need at least 30 to 45 minutes depending on their skills and weather conditions. In the Kansas woods, hunters often set up tents that are about 30 to 50 square feet in size to hide and track wild boars. These tents are designed to not only hide the hunter but also protect them from other animals that may attack. In particular, in the woods near Marion County, Kansas, there are usually 5 to 10 tents set up in strategic locations to increase the chances of approaching wild boars safely and effectively, especially in rainy weather conditions. After completing a wild boar hunt each season, Kansas hunters can receive a stipend of $500 to $1,000, depending on the number of wild boars taken and reported to authorities. These efforts are recognized by the number of wild boars they successfully hunt, helping to control the invasive wild boar population. If a hunter is caught illegally hunting wild boars, they can be fined up to $5,000 or have their hunting license revoked. Kansas authorities are taking these measures to control the population growth and develop new strategies to deal with them more effectively. Wild boar hunting is supported by most Kansas residents because they affect their livelihood. Famous for their aggression, these creatures pose a serious threat to the safety of people. Every year, statistics show that about 320 people are victims of traffic collisions involving wild boars in Alaska. The cost of repairing traffic infrastructure is over 2.4 billion USD. Unexpected encounters between wild boars and vehicles not only cause damage to vehicles, but also threaten the lives of drivers and passengers. Their sudden appearance on the road can lead to emergency situations requiring drivers to brake suddenly or move away, causing a high risk of traffic accidents. In addition, these sudden collisions cause damage to traffic infrastructure, creating a large repair cost for the government. With the above dangerous situations, to prevent wild boars using net traps is an urgent measure. Net traps are often placed in strategic locations near their path. The trap installation process requires at least 2 people or more to complete quickly and safely. Setting traps does not take much of the hunter's time, and at the same time, it helps hunters observe traps while at home. Net traps have the outstanding feature of being able to capture and prevent wild boars from escaping. The net trap design includes sturdy meshes, and the gaps between the meshes are small enough to prevent them from getting out. With its large size, net traps can capture an average of 10 to 15 at the same time. This method is more effective than small traps, helping to save time and effort in hunting and controlling the number of wild boars. According to information from Alaska, using corn bait has been proven to be highly effective in attracting and catching wild boars. Some studies show that the success rate of wild boar traps using corn bait can be up to 80%. wild boars are often attracted by the special aroma of corn, so most people often use it. Using a sufficient amount of corn bait, avoiding waste, helps optimize trap efficiency without causing expense. Setting up wild boar traps requires compliance with strict requirements to ensure safety and effectiveness. Net traps need to be cleaned up and removed from the location after catching them to avoid affecting the environment and other animals. They are handled humanely in compliance with wildlife protection regulations. After each use, the net trap must be cleaned so it can be reused the next time. Installing traps is quite simple and easy, however. Hunters must have a hunting license and be in good health and understand their behavior to avoid dangerous situations. Installing traps not only saves hunters time, but also helps limit the pursuit of wild boars on bad weather days. However, it is necessary to check wild boar traps at least every 24 hours to ensure the traps are working effectively and to promptly handle them when caught. According to statistics from the Alaska Department of Transportation ADA, the number of wild boars hunted in Alaska in recent years has ranged from 2,000 to 4,000 per year. Reasons why some communities do not support trap hunting for wild boars in Alaska include concerns about safety and fairness in hunting. They say the use of traps could lead to overhunting, posing the risk of reducing wild boar numbers too quickly and causing ecological imbalance. The potential damage is the reduction of biodiversity and injury to other species in the natural environment. In addition, during the collection process, hunters will have to approach at least 5 feet away to avoid the risk of being attacked by wild boars. In some areas such as Alaska, people often use silenced guns to hunt them right in traps to quickly collect and minimize risks. To transport wild boars, large trucks are used, allowing all caught wild boars to be transported in one go, saving time and effort. In addition, the government spent $500,000 to install fences around major roads where wild boars often pass to reduce vehicle collisions with wild boars. This is a truly necessary measure to protect both animals and drivers. The fence will be installed at a height of 8 feet, enough to make it impossible for wild boars to cross. To ensure durability and resistance to destruction, the fence will be made of sturdy and high-thickness steel to ensure long-term protection. If you are looking for an effective solution to dealing with wild boars, iron cage traps are an option worth considering. In the next section, you will experience how iron cage traps with large iron plates can catch twice as many wild boars as net traps, about 30 to 40 animals. You will discover firsthand the outstanding advantages that iron cage traps bring, from high durability, effective capturability to easy maintenance and transportation. It's great to have you join us as we continue to explore new lands. Over 3 million wild boars roam Texas, causing more than $500 million, 0 cents in damage every year. Behind these staggering numbers lies a story of deep roots and hard-earned legacy farmers who've transformed tough land into thriving orchards for generations. But now, the very soil they cherish is under siege by a relentless invader born from history's mistakes. How did Texas's proud farming culture unknowingly fuel this wild explosion? And what price is paid in the fight to reclaim the land? Let's unravel the fierce struggle shaking the Lone Star State. To understand this crisis, we need to rewind the clock way. In the 1500s, Spanish explorers like Hernando de Soto brought boars to the New World. Some escaped, went wild, and began multiplying in the wild. Then, In the 1930s, Eurasian wild boars were imported for sport. These interbreed with wild boars, creating a stronger hybrid. By the 1980s, the population exploded. Thanks to one terrifying fact, sows can produce 2 litters of up to 12 piglets per year. Why Texas? It's hog heaven. Open landscapes, food-rich environments, warm climate, and few natural predators. And surprisingly, wild boars have been around for about 400 years. What started as a novelty has become a necessity. In the 1980s, hunters began treating wild hogs as prize game. Today, it's a full-blown industry. Texas law reflects that: no limits bags, no close season urgency. House Bill 716 even promotes aerial depredation, which involves shooting wild hogs from helicopters. Outfits like Heli Bacon charge up to $1,500 0 cents per hunt. Private landowners, meanwhile, lease land for $150 0 cents to $700 0 cents per hunt. For some, wild hogs are more profitable than cattle. But the problem is that, despite all of this, it's not enough. Wild hogs are nocturnal and constantly adapting. Hunting slows them down, but it doesn't stop their spread. Comment if you think this argument is valid. But here's the shocking thing. These high-tech traps aren't perfect heroes. More than 30% of non-target animals have been caught in these devices across Texas. What about hunters? Many feel these traps are stealing their hard-earned prey, turning what was once a skillful pursuit into a mechanical slaughter. The old rules of hunting, patience and skill are being lost. This isn't just a technological solution, it's a powder keg of ethical and safety risks exploding in the heart of Texas. Are these wire cage traps as bad as they're made out to be? Share your thoughts below. And some are turning destruction into opportunity. Chefs are turning wild hogs into a staple on Texas menus, proving that invasive species can be turned into sustainable food. Communities are also banding together. Farmers, government agencies and hunters are forming regional alliances to manage land, share data and educate others. Even beleaguered orange groves are bouncing back with better traps, smarter planning, and a whole lot of resilience. If you've ever had a taste of wild hog, give us a yes or no and tell us why below. The hunt may be over, but the fight against wild hogs, the most ferocious invasive enemy Texas has ever faced, is far from over. This epic chase through the orange grove is not only a story of destruction, but also a powerful wake-up call for all Texans. It reminds us all that protecting the land requires awareness, responsibility, and solidarity. It all started with a devastating sight. More than 1,500 baboons swarmed, their howls echoing through the deserted streets. Attracted by the abundant trash and easy food, the baboons turned urban areas into battlegrounds. The environmental impact was devastating, with quality indicators dropping by 30% as parks and waterways were littered with trash. property damage skyrocketed, with estimates of $3,200,000, 0 cents in damage. But the real shock came when residents realised the scale of the unprecedented attack. Dealing with the growing baboon population has led to extreme measures. Given the damage this invasive species has caused to property,
these approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.